Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Here we are with our third update of the standings. We start over in the AFC North where the Ravens lead it over the Steelers, and then the Bengals are tied for second. Meanwhile, the Browns aren't that far behind in fourth. The AFC South, the Titans have clinched the division. Yay, although if you've been watching this entire series, you should have seen that coming from a mile away. Jaguars are in second, the Colts and the Texans are tied for third, which is kind of crazy seeing Indianapolis being third. I expected them to be second this entire time. Meanwhile, AFC East, you have the Jets and the Patriots still tied on top of the AFC. The Dolphins are a bit behind in third. They started to look like they were going to compete, but then injury bug really got to them early in the year. And Buffalo's just not tried at all this year. Meanwhile, in the West, the Broncos have yet to clinch the West, but I can see that happening within the next week or two. Then you have the Chiefs in second, the Chargers third, and the Raiders, the Raiders are just there, although they've been trying a bit the past couple weeks, which is surprising considering they should have tried to focus more on tanking, but Al Davis still with his just win baby methodology, I believe. Meanwhile, NFC North, the Vikings lead. Meanwhile, we have the Lions and the Bears tied for second. But they're not fully out of it just yet, although I think the Packers are out of it. I could be wrong on the Packers. Like, Packers could just straight up win 5 straight. Lions, Bears, and Vikings could all end up going 8-8. This whole division can be all messed up. I remember in the previous Madden, just for the heck of it, I just had this entire conference be tied with each other. I think Detroit made it in, even though they had 6 ties. I mean, that's something to possibly fun to do. If y'all want me to do that with any division besides the AFC South, that's next season. So, if you want me to do something like that, sound off in the comments. Meanwhile, NFC South, you have the Panthers, followed by the Saints, the Buccaneers, and the Falcons. Saints and Bucs are fighting for the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Falcons, they're fighting for the next flight to Cancun. Meanwhile, the Eagles, I'm surprised the Eagles haven't clinched the East yet, but I'm guessing it's because the game can be like, oh, they can just all of a sudden lose 5 in a row and the Redskins or the Giants can win it. Although, realistically, I don't see that happening. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, so much for this being their year. Meanwhile, over in the NFC West, the Rams are the only real logical choice. The 49ers have been falling off a cliff these past few weeks. Which, I wanted to see some consistency out of them, which they are being consistent. Just not the kind of consistent you want out of a team. You want your team to be consistently good, not consistently terrible. Because, they've lost 4 in a row. Meanwhile, Arizona's won 2 in a row, which is surprising, considering that I've already seen some games for the college football universe. Arizona and Wyoming both have something in common. They wait until basically November to start winning. When all hope is lost, when everything's done for, now it's time to start winning. When you could have started winning back in September, kind of get yourself in a better position. For the Cardinals, better position to be in the playoffs. All granted, number 2 overall pick right now isn't that bad either, But for Wyoming, they needed to play well to get better recruits, so opposite ends of the spectrum there. AFC, your seeding goes like this. You have the Titans being the first overall seed after beating the Broncos a couple weeks ago, which they are the number 2 seed, and by the looks of it, this will be your 2 teams that will get the bye. Meanwhile, you have the Ravens currently in third, the Jets in fourth, the Patriots fifth, and as of right now, if the season were to end, the Kansas City Chiefs would make the playoffs, unlike, surprisingly, their real-life counterpart. Damon Hard is better than Patrick Mahomes throughout the year 2025. Find me on that in the comments section. Meanwhile, you have the Jaguars in seventh. If they somehow get into the playoff with that point differential, granted they played me twice, but still, followed by the Steelers, the Bengals, the Chargers. These are the teams I say that are realistically still in it. The Dolphins, they need a little bit more for them to try to get in. Same with the Browns. Raiders, Colts, Texans, and Bills, I say they're all eliminated from the playoffs. Meanwhile, over in the NFC, and these two teams face off against each other in Week 13. Might plan on actually streaming that on my Twitch channel, BP Wild Bill. So please go follow me on there, so that way we can stream this at the earliest next week, because I've got these videos, college football videos, all of that stuff. So maybe next Friday would be a good time. Meanwhile, the Panthers have more or less secured the third seed, dropping out of the running here. Meanwhile, right now the Vikings have the 4th seed, but it's a dogfight for the wild card spots. Now remember, this is the year 2007, where there are 2 wild card spots, not 3. That's why Eagles and Seahawks, Titans and Broncos are all getting first round byes. We got the Redskins, the Giants, the Saints, and the Buccaneers, and the Rams all at 6 and 5. This is going to be a dogfight to pay attention to. If you want me to do this like every week to see where teams are in the playoffs, see who have clinched, all that, 49ers, they're right behind in 10th. The Lions, they're not fully out of it for the North. Same with the Bears, these two can still somehow sneak up and win the North. The Packers, I don't think they can win the North. Falcons, more or less going to Cancun. Same with the Cowboys, although some Cowboys fans might try to delusionally think this is their year. And the Cardinals, like I said, Cardinals most likely have the number 2 overall pick, which isn't bad. They just need to make sure they don't win much more, so that way they can hold on to that pick. But that is our standings for the third quarter of the year, and I will see you all next time.